Hello and welcome to TVC News this hour. We'll begin in Abuja, where the United Nations calls for the release of the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. And this has continued to generate diverse reactions. A coalition of 52 northern groups has called for the immediate withdrawal of the UN's demand for Nnamdi Kanu's unconditional freedom. Spokesperson of the CNG, Abdulaziz Suleiman, disclosed this during a press conference in Abuja. Our correspondent, Habib Lawal, reports.
The United Nations Human Rights Council Working Group on Arbitrary Detention had indicted both Nigerian and Kenyan governments for the arrest and extraordinary rendition, torture, and continued detention of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, without due process. It also recommends that government officials responsible for the torture meted out on the IPOB leader be investigated. The UN body further directed Nigeria to report back within 6 months of the transmission of its opinions on Nnamdi Kanu, steps taken to comply with all the recommendations thereof. But this coalition of northern groups is demanding that the United Nations immediately withdraws the call for the unconditional release of Nnamdi Kanu from the lawful custody of the Nigerian authorities. They cautioned the United Nations that their intervention and actions should never be used to discountenance the efforts of the Nigerian state to protect its citizens from violence and to impose law and order.
That represents the legitimate interests of northern Nigeria. The CNG therefore calls on the United Nations and Nigeria's international friends to join in the effort of interrogating these unwarranted cases of Kanu and IPOB transmitting messages of hate and propaganda that have so far caused the destruction of many lives and property, further polarized Nigerians across ethnic, religious, and regional lines, sowing deeply a discord that will take ages to undo.
They have also asked the federal government of Nigeria to maintain the sanctity, dignity, and integrity of Nigeria and uphold and defend its sovereignty by resisting and rejecting such demands from any quarter. They believe as the most populous country on the continent and one that continues to influence peace and stability, any breakdown of law and order will only compound the security and humanitarian situations in the entire region. Habib Lawal, TVC News, Abuja.